Hello and welcome to the final lesson in Time of Your Life productivity course. I hope you've enjoyed the course and found it useful, and I also hope that you've begun to form some useful productivity habits along the way. Now, certainly habits have a huge influence on our lives, on our success and on our lives in general. Socrates suggests here that excellence was in fact a habit rather than a single act, and that we are what we repeatedly do. Similarly, Warren Buffett, the multi-billionaire investor who certainly had a great deal of success, at least financially in his life, felt that the chains of habit are too tight to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Now, you may be aware of a book by Charles Duhigg called The Power of Habit. It's an excellent book and I do recommend you read it if you wish, but that talks about something like 40 to 45% of our daily actions being habitual rather than conscious choices. So that's quite a large amount of our time is being spent on habit. So it's important we get those habits correct. Now, I don't intend to spend a long time talking about habits. It's a subject in itself, but I do think it's useful to suggest some useful habits that you could adopt from the outset to improve the quality of your life and your productivity as well. The first of these is the idea of a morning ritual. Now, many of the great and the good, whether that's Richard Branson, Lady Gaga, Oprah Winfrey, the late Steve Jobs, many people have adopted morning rituals to look after their mind and body and to get themselves off to a good start. Barack Obama, ex-president, used to get up 2 hours before any major engagements to work out. He would avoid watching the news or taking any criticism. He would set himself up for the day. Tony Robbins, the personal development guru, has a habit of having a hot and cold bath every morning apparently, then does meditations and affirmations to set himself up to the day. But all of the various habits and morning rituals that these great and good, as I suggest, have adopted are based usually upon looking after themselves physically by exercise, meditation, and also setting themselves mentally for the day so that they set their intentions to have a productive day and a proactive day rather than a reactive day. Now, to help you facilitate morning rituals, you may wish to get up an hour earlier in the morning to give yourself the time to do these rituals. It will make a big difference should you choose to do this. Alternatively, rather than, if you're not a morning person, you may think about having an evening ritual whereby you set the priorities for the day ahead, perhaps in your journal. You could reflect upon the day, decide upon the important things for the next day so that you wake up with a clear idea of what it needs doing. I would also suggest that you do not check your emails in the morning. In the morning, you're often at your freshest and most alert, so better to focus on important tasks of the day, those rocks that were talked about, those high impact activities that were talked about with the Pareto principle. Set yourself out in the morning to do the important tasks and do things like emails at times during the day. So think about the morning rituals, think about an evening ritual. It may make a big difference in your life. Now, also to help instill good habits on a daily basis, you might think about setting up some triggers to remind you on a daily basis of what these habits are. It could be in the form of setting yourself alarms or indeed messages to remind yourself of important actions that you need to take, important intentions that you have for the day, important feelings about how you wish to feel, whether that's to feel confident, to feel energetic, to feel productive, the way you want to be with the world. These triggers you may want to think about to help set you up, to help remind you of what's important as the day progresses. Now, I did say this was going to be a fairly short presentation, but basically I would like you to think about how you might adopt one of the two suggested progress opportunities. Either establish a morning ritual to set yourself up for the day physically and mentally, or an evening routine to set yourself up for the day and to review and reflect upon the successes of the day, or alternatively try any of the techniques that we've discussed during the course and journal those and review your success and refine them as you go. Now, I very much hope you've got something out of this course. I've enjoyed delivering it. I hope you've going to end up being a more productive person as a consequence of having followed the course. I'd like to thank you for staying with me till the end of the course, and perhaps hope to see you again on some future courses. Thank you and best wishes. Cheers.